All right, I hope you guys are having a great day so far. Today I wanted to talk a little about it's kind of insurance and it's kind of legal, but I want you to be aware of it and make sure that you're in the right of things whenever something comes up. The main subject being workers' compensation and what that means for you if you are a business owner of any kind, a sole proprietor, if you're an LLC, or if you're a corporation. The different business entities have different requirements for each entity and different requirements for each state. So you really got to be aware of what is required of your state and what is required of your business entity. So there's going to be kind of 2 points I'm making this video, and I want to make sure you understand it so you can go do your own research. This is not all encompassing, as most of my videos are not. It's just bringing awareness of. So, workers' compensation, what's it for? The reason that workers' compensation is in place is it is a type of insurance that you carry as a business owner to cover for yourself or for any employees you may have for any injury or illness occurred on the job site. And what it does is it covers your medical expenses and your wages lost while you're out of work. That's the whole point and concept of it. Now, you don't have to have it based off your state or your company title. Whatever kind of corporation you are, or LLC or such, whatever is required of you doesn't necessarily mean it's the best option for you. And what I mean by that is there's a couple different sides to things. One, if you don't have workers' comp and something does happen to you, you're not going to be making an income. If you are a business owner and that's pretty much your only income, you're kind of up a creek without a paddle. You're injured and you have no income coming in. So it's kind of an insurance in case something does happen, and most of the time things do happen when you don't plan for them. So it might be good for you to have workers' compensation. It's an insurance you can get along with the insurance agent wherever you get your general liability insurance from. You could probably get it from them. Few states require you be a part of a state-funded or state-regulated workers' comp, but for the most part, you can get it from a privately owned insurance company where you get your general liability insurance. So what you want to make sure is the money worth it? Are you doing so much work and your income is how can I say it? You're leveraged out so much with your income being the only source of income for your household that it's imperative that money keeps coming in even if an injury happens. If that's the case, you might want to sit down and do the pros and cons whether workman's comp insurance is an expense worth having, whether you're required to have it or not. Now, the other thing is, do have it if you're required to have it. Make sure you do know if you're required, you do need to have it. But the other side is if you are, say, working as a subcontractor for a general contractor. Something that's just kind of come up with me and a couple of other contractors that work for a general contractor. We do a lot of work for them. The general contractor can ask or require you to have either workers' comp or workers' comp waiver of non-coverage. And what it is you waive your ability or legal right to claim workers' comp from the general contractor if you're a subcontractor or a sole proprietor. I think the three entities that can have a waiver is the sole proprietor, a partnership, or an LLC. Only those three. If you're incorporated, you cannot have a waiver. As I understand it, I could be wrong, but just in the state, if you're incorporated, if you're a corporation, you can't waive yourself. You actually have to carry workers' comp. So if you're a sole proprietor, a partnership, or an LLC, you can waive your requests to have, workers' comp. It's a non-coverage waiver is what it is. You can get down the state, lasts for 2 years, and in Arkansas it's $50 for 2 years. And anyways, the general contractor can require this from you, either the waiver or the coverage, because As I understand it, and this is not all encompassing, like I said, as I understand it is if anything happens to you or an employee of yours on the job for the general contractor then is considered the statutory employer. Meaning if anything happens and you don't have compensation, workers' comp, that a employee or the subcontractor can go after the general contractor and try getting workers' comp from them when they didn't have their own, because that's just legalities from what I understand. That's just how legally it's kind of worded, is without proper paperwork for the general contractor to either prove that you have a waiver saying I will not request any kind of workers' comp, or that has paperwork saying I have my own workers' comp. Without either one of those, the general contractor is now liable for your workers' comp, and they do have to cover you. So just be careful if you're a general contractor, or maybe it'll help you understand a little bit why a general contractor will require it from you, one of those two, because without either one of those, they are liable and responsible, and they have to take on the financial burden for workers' comp for you, even though you're not their employee. It's kind of a really sticky situation. So be aware of it. Make sure you have it if you are required to have workers' comp in your state and for your business entity. If you're not, maybe sit down and do a pros and cons list to decide whether you need it anyways, even though you might not be required. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you have a great day. And as always, I'll talk to you later.